Hello, Internet. This is BoneCarlos with Knob coming to you live from Polar Nights. Polar Night? Polar Ice? One of those two. It's very cold. I don't know what I'm saying. I might stutter. How you doing over there, buddy?
I'm doing alright, and this is one of my least favorite maps in HOTS.
Fun times. The players today are going to be KyoJiN spawning as the red Protoss. His opponent is going to be Brownies, not to be confused with Brown Eyes, spawning as the blue Zerg. I like Yonsu and Frost, not so much this one. So yeah, Yonsu is the one you were talking about before this cast, where it has a huge backdoor to the Reapers, but that's not this map. This map is Polar Ice, Polar Night. And a very interesting map because I've never seen it before myself. Why don't you educate us on this map?
What makes this map both fun and difficult is you notice here kind of towards the, kind of south towards the southern, under the natural expansion, if I can get my words correct here, we got some destructible ice, which apparently is very tough ice. 3 armor, 2000 HP. I wish I could get this ice in my drinks. Anyways, you knock this down here, you got yourself a nice way into the natural, but on the coin flip, if you break that down and break down these, you can get yourself a third expansion kind of behind here. But this type of map, the way it's laid out, once these rocks are broken, it's really good for multiple direction attacks. You know, hitting with roaches up the ramp in the front, and swing a couple around to the back. You know, just doing a lot of angled plays here to where you can kind of spread your opponent thin, kill some workers, maybe even take out an expansion in general. That's what makes this map so, you know, so tough in certain ways. Plus you've got this high grass right here that you can use that to kind of help you defend early on a little bit until your opponent gets something that can see through that.
Yeah, I was looking around this map, and it seems that if you do manage to get these three bases, it'll actually be a little bit easier to get this fourth as well, because at that point, once you get your fourth up and running, all you have is this wide ramp leading up to your natural expansion, which it looks like KyoJiN is going for the traditional Forge Fast Expand. If you do manage to take that fourth, all you do have is, I mean, you have this grass over here near the northern part of the fourth base, but also this wide ramp leading up to it, so really only three points of entry after you secure a fourth. So this could be an interesting map once I decide to play it, if it does go into that meta game, you know, late game to about the 30-40 minute mark. But at the same time, we see Brownies is going up, pretty much grabbed his natural expansion at the same time, grabbed his extractor around the same. Actually a little bit late on that extractor with his timing up with his spawning pool. If he did put it down a little bit sooner, he would have that 100 gas as soon as his spawning pool popped. But you know what? That's okay. This is a platinum level play, and what can I say since I am in lowly silver? I just placed in silver this past season. It just pretty much means I have to bump up my game time. KyoJiN double assimilator. He's timing up his Forge Fast Expand very nicely. I mean, he has plenty of minerals to put down this the cybernetics core if he so chose, and he's using his Nexus as part of his wall. So I do like this.
Yep, that is definitely pretty nice. You got that double gas down. Isn't using it just yet. Does finally get that. Oh nope, that's not a cyber. That's a pylon. But I'm expecting a cyber core very, very soon, as well as these double gas to get all mining. I wonder if this was some kind of misclick or something, because I can't think of any reason why we wouldn't want to see a forge or a cyber core down here. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, and he does finally put the cybernetics core, but in the direct path of this Vespin geyser. So if KyoJiN is out there listening, you didn't need that pylon. You already had plenty of supply to last you until you put down, after you put down that cybernetics core. You could have banked an easy 100 minerals, but now since it's there, you're going to go ahead and block off your own Vespin geyser. Not going to be too much of a crazy shenanigans until later on, but you never want to block off your own Vespin geyser.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, yes, the cyber core being out as part of the wall does make it a little bit vulnerable. That's definitely true. But on the same token, though, one, it makes your wall stronger, you know, a 600 HP stronger, some of which can be regenerated because of shielding. And, you know, you could have got that down a little bit faster, and like Bone was saying, you really didn't need it. So just kind of keep an eye on that supply there, and, you know, concentrate on getting that cyber core down faster, because that means faster tacking up, faster warp gate, faster wonderful mothership core, you know, which are all great things.
And right now, as we see an extremely early Spire by KyoJiN, I mean, putting the Spire down at around 630, 620-ish. So what early Mutalisk Caress is what I'm thinking.
It's quite possible here, but we do have a Stargate in play. If he could easily boost out a couple of Phoenixes and just completely counter this.
Yes, yes.
Utterly and completely.
Yeah, because, I mean, Phoenixes do have a 35-second build time with Chrono Boost. That's 17 seconds. That's the exact same time that that a probe would take without Chrono Boost. You could even when out of one star, he could have 4 or 5 Phoenixes out, continually Chrono Boosted out. You could have them very quickly. We already see the Spire about to get done, so we're going to see some Sky Toss versus some Sky Zerg. What I do like that Brownies is doing is that he look at his field division. That is insane. He knows exactly what's going on. He had both of his, he still does. He has both of his Xel'Naga towers. He has plenty of, actually has drones around the map to give himself vision. He has Zerglings here, Zerglings there, Overlord here, giving him great vision. I love that play about Brownies. He knows exactly what's going to happen. Once he spots those Phoenix, he's going to be able to give himself plenty of reaction time available. But what I don't like is his creep spread. He has no creep spread and he has no third. So might want to hunker down, pretty much delay. I would say delay his Spire by about a couple minutes. Grab that hatchery instead of the Spire, and then have the Spire up and running to be able to have the economy to power those Mutalisks that he's currently building right now.
Very, very, very true for sure. We do have a little bit of a supply block here by KyoJiN here. Nothing too major. Does have several pylons queued up, so he's gonna have a huge supply well here at his disposal here in a few moments. He is going ahead and grabbing his level 2 ground weapons and
Blink.
Since you're and Blink as well here, so it looks like he's going very anti-Mutalisk. Blink Stalkers with good weapon upgrades. Several Phoenixes moving up to his 5th Phoenix already here, and we only have 7 Mutalisks on the field currently here with five more buildings. So he's gonna be able to. He has the proper counter to this. I feel he's gonna be very prepared for this Mutalisk. Grab a 3rd base. He's got the gateways and the ground upgrades. Switch into some kind of Colossus Stalker Death Ball, and this could be an easy win for him.
But right now he's using up a lot of gas on 4 sentries, so he's playing very defensively. Oh, looks like the Phoenixes are going to catch the Mutalisk. All you need to do is move him back. Brownies knows exactly what's going on and decides to fly his Mutalisk back. Phoenixes give chase. They're going to see this single queen. They're going to go ahead and lift it off, pick it off very, very quickly, very, very easily. And here comes a time where you recall as many Overlords as possible back to your base, but KyoJiN is actually running back home. Not sure what he saw or what made him do this. Looks like he's slightly overreacting to these Mutalisks. He's putting down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photon cannons all around his main base. Just a slight overreaction on his part. He's going to go ahead and try to break down his destructible rocks at the back with Mothership 4 and Zealous sentries tickling away. He's going to go ahead and push forward. He's going to go ahead and push forward with his Phoenixes yet again into this 3rd. Gonna catch off a drone, an Overlord here, an Overlord there. But a Spore Crawler is being built at Brownies' 3rd. Natural expansion is already done, and so is the main. So great response by Brownies, not overreacting like KyoJiN just did, but still anyone's game at this point.
Very, very true, yeah, and he could have definitely got a lot, killed several Overlords here because Brownies doesn't have a huge surplus of Overlords right now. He's already 114 over 134 here, so he could have done a lot of damage to the supply and really just forced him to make more Overlords. And since that mineral bank is not really all that staggeringly high either, granted it's because of some of these upgrades, it could have really set him back.
And one thing you don't ever want to do, this is speaking towards KyoJiN, is once you research Warp Gate, every time you warp in a new set of units or build a new set of units, put down another pylon. This is the 3rd or 4th time he's been supply blocked. Ooh, managed to catch an Infestor. Nice play. Here come the Mutalisk flock. They're going to go ahead and take on 1 Phoenix, and here it comes. Look, the Phoenix are just going to go ahead and give chase with their movable weapons. What you want to do is every time you warp in KyoJiN, put down a pylon. That way you won't get supply blocked as much as you're doing at the moment, and also never have your units stagnant. Especially if you build this flock of Phoenixes, have them moving around, have them picking off units. Don't have them just patrolling the same area back and forth across the map. See what damage you can do, because you never want to build units and then do nothing with them.
Yep, that way you do as much as you can with them, make them cost effective.
Ooh.
I, as a Terran player, know more than anybody else that cost effectiveness is huge. I mean, heck, granted, any StarCraft player would know that. Just, I feel like Terrans have to be cost effective to win more so than the other two.
And, ooh, Fungal Growth try to catch those Phoenixes, but look at KyoJiN's Harvester count. Great, what you expect on 3 bases, but you have a little bit too many at your natural expansion. Just something you want to look at, KyoJiN, next time you play this game. And here he comes, and it looks like Fungal Growth does manage to catch one of these Phoenixes, lifting off those in fast. We're going to go ahead and pick off 1, 2, maybe even 3, but the number count. Oh, great! Fungal Growth catches all of those Phoenixes. Those Phoenixes might have been taken down out completely, but Chain Fungals was not used. It looks like he might have had, didn't have the energy to put down another one. So Infester, Zergling, Mutalisk play coming out of our Zerg player. Nice transfer there. Looks like KyoJiN knew what he was doing.
Leaving exactly 16 at his natural here and is oversaturating his third.
Yeah, so there you go. Something you want to look forward to, KyoJiN. Pretty much on your macro end. Your micro end, very good. You're harassing your opponent, but you're not doing the killing blow now. It looks like Brownies is up to 4 bases. The thing with Phoenixes, yeah, they do great damage to Zerg. They kill off Overlords. They kill off Queens. You can pick off this, pick off that, but you can't kill hatcheries, and they have a limited use against the drones. So once you run out of energy, you really can't pick them up. You want to build up a 1-2 punch by attacking with the Phoenixes and then getting up with those 6-7 gates really quickly and just pummeling your opponent with just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, stuff and double
There
upgrades.
you go. And now, finally, Mass Fungals do catch those Phoenixes. Only 2 left on the field at the moment. KyoJiN senses, decides to pull on back, but with only 3 Mutalisks, so does Brownies now. It looks like the infestor count is getting quite high, but at the same time, KyoJiN is taking his 4th. Main base definitely decently saturated. He's finally putting up those 3 to 4 gateways that I was talking about earlier, building himself up a nice little ground army, while at the same time, Brownies is just massing up plenty. He's going to almost hit 3,000 minerals. It looks like his injects somewhat on time. I mean, he has plenty of energy on most of his queens, but keeping it fairly low. No queen here in the main base. I wonder what's that about.
Probably moved it out somewhere, maybe to do creep spread or something. Got sniped at some point, I would think, because I haven't seen the Phoenixes really move anywhere near that main. But right now, I'm really thinking just the further this game goes, the more it favors our Protoss player, because he's got his level 3 weapons on the way. He's got his +1 armor, and our Zerg player doesn't really have much to speak of on ground ups. His Mutalisks, though, do have 1/1 as well as their +2 flyer on the way. That really is only going to help them if you say he switches into Broodlords. They're going to pack that extra punch.
And right now, Ultralisk Cavern being put down by Brownies. But unfortunately, 2 robotics facilities being put down with 6 gateways at the same time. So 6, putting it up with, wow, another 3, 7 gateways, 8 gateways, 12 gateways with a double robotics facility with a single star gate. That's going to be enough, huh?
And
a Dark Templar. And Dark Shrine.
And a Dark Shrine, because why not?
There you go. Robotics. Ooh, Robotics in an awkward position. This could easily be sniped by a Mutalisk attack. Dark Templar, Templar Archives. It looks like KyoJiN just wants everything. 198 over 200. Has a decent saturation all around now. He managed to split off his probes to gather up what they need to do when they need to do it, and he's still causing that little bit of harassment with his Phoenixes. While on the other side of the map, Brownies just have a huge bank, huge swell of minerals, and finally getting over 3,000. Might even hit 4,000 before this game is up, but who knows? Looking at the units lost tab, we see, units lost, resource lost, pretty much has only been Phoenixes by KyoJiN, and the rest have been, Mutalisks here, drones here, Overlords and Queens by Brownies. Now we have 200 army versus 200 army. Army supply almost dead even. 120 to KyoJiN, 126, and surprisingly 80 workers for KyoJiN, outnumbering the Zerg player by about 10. Wow.
Anytime you outworker the Zerg player, you're gonna win the game. Odds are.
Unless you have 40 workers, 40 probes on 1 mineral patch, but that was 20 minutes ago. And we finally see KyoJiN's going to go ahead and move out. He has double Colossi. He has a mix of everything. And here it comes. Nice Fungal Growth catching most of everything. Really important single Colossi. But now there come the mass fungals. They're going to go ahead and chip away at the Protoss units. Fungal growth here, fungal growth there. Looks like it's going to push forward. Nice, decently nice force field, blocking off most of the army, but really they're going to just swarm around. Fungal growths are being put down left and right. Looks like the explosions. I have no idea what's going on.
That was beautiful. I literally just watched a Spore Crawler take out a Colossus.
And, oh my God.
That was the worst engagement for a Protoss with huge upgrade advantage. I'm really surprised at that outcome.
And this is where charge would have helped. When you're facing up against a lot of these Zerglings, charge really makes you, really holds back those Zerglings in place, especially with force field backup. I believe that's what really happened. A lot of those Zerglings surrounded most of those Stalkers, took them out very, very easily. The Colossi were being taken down by everything. And here it comes. The Mutalisks are going to fly by. Nothing really can shoot up. These Archons finally get built. And these Mutalisks are going to go ahead and try to pick off whatever they can. But you don't want to fly them into the Archons. And look at that. Massive amounts of Hydralisks are just going to go ahead and walk by. One burst takes down an Archon. Looks like KyoJiN is backed up against the wall. Finally decides to just attack. Colossi are going to go ahead and go burn through these Hydralisks, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and back and forth, not really knowing what to do. KyoJiN could just aim move to victory at this point, but decides to pull on back and wait for those Ultralisks.
Yep, he is slowly losing the upgrade advantage though. Our Zerg players got his level 3 melee, got his level 3 carapace, got his level 2 range on the way. Got a plethora of upgrades on the way here, so he's slowly getting back into the game. Once his upgrades catch up with the Protoss here, it could be a very different game after one engagement, especially since we've seen Brownie, engage in an intelligent way and win the battle despite being really down in upgrades. Can you imagine what he's going to do once we get on even?
Yeah, it will be bad. And right now KyoJiN is getting Gravitic Drive, getting Psionic Storm, but really not exactly what you need at the moment. Right now you just need a massive amounts of units and just keep battling your Zerg opponent. But at the same time, don't lose 10 workers at once. Mutalisks are going to go ahead and attack, but at the same time, countered by KyoJiN. He's going to go ahead and attack with his, this is a nice amount of Archons. They're going to rip through. This Archon with 4 Colossus is going to really rip through all of those Hydralisks, I feel.
Yeah, we got these Ultras coming down the way here. He needs those Zealots up front, Archons right behind them, and Colossus just hanging out in the very back, and that's the best way he's going to be able to set this up here. If those Ultras get in on those Colossus.
And right now, those Ultras are going to fall to the combined might of those those Archons and Lao. It's just pure Hydralisk. It looks like the count is dwindling for KyoJiN. Now that's left is pure Colossi. Unfortunately, they can't shoot up. The Mutalisks are going to have their way with them once everything is done, and that is it. It looks like KyoJiN threw his entire army to take down a single base. Not really what you want to be doing. 5 Templar are being warped in along with 2 Colossi. Here we go. Archon, Psionic Storm is done, but not enough time to build up that energy. But at the same time, Brownies is going to go ahead and just back up and retake his 4th. And oh my, these players are, and it looks like these players, nice creep spread. So KyoJiN really only has 1 base available left in this far right position, while at the same time, on the opposite side of the field, Brownies has the same exact base relative to him open. Main base, natural, mined out. We got 3rd and 4th up and running fairly easily. Same thing can be said about Brownies. But look at the bank that Brownies has. Over 2,000 minerals, plenty of gas. Not really the same you could say about KyoJiN. This is just gonna turn into a barroom fight.
Yeah, I'd really like to see him get legs on those Zealots though too. They seem so sad being all
yeah,
slow.
that's one of those things that you never really notice the difference until you actually start using it. Charge lots compared to regular Zealots, it's a world of difference. And like I said before, it allows Zealots to just charge ahead of your army and wrap around your opponent and really contain them. So everything other than Zealots is ranged. Sentries, Stalkers, we got Archons in the mix right now. So it really allows the Zealot army to just lock your opponent in place while every ranged unit attacks it from behind. But without it, it's just a mad, sad clump of units that the Protoss army wields.
Yeah, we got a Dark Templar scouting ahead, being all invisible and whatnot here. No type of detection here, so If he would have just rolled in there with a big glop of Dark Templars, really he could have cut him open here. But
this is bad.
I mean,
all the Zealots in the back. Ultralisk doing plenty of damage to these Archons. The Zealots finally managed to get into the fray, but too little, too late. They're going to be ripped apart by these Ultralisks. Again, that is just 3 bad engagements in the row from KyoJiN. This Dark Templar is still alive. And he killed himself an Ultralisk.
Still alive, and yep, he's actually an instructor at this point, killing 11 things. That Warp Blade of his packs a punch, doing 60 damage a hit. He could easily run it up in here, start hacking away at this hatchery. Probably might even be able to. Nope. I was gonna say if he would have started right away, he may have been able to kill it here. But now we have Overseers with that army, and these Dark Templars he's producing now are far too late. Except for I believe they are out on a job.
They're going to go ahead and attack the extremities of Brownies' base, while at the same time, so harassment here, harassment there. He was researching gravitic drives for his warp prisms, but no warp prisms on the way just yet. Kind of like the same way he researched Psionic Storm, but without actually using your High Templar. And he's going to lose this next. Actually, he might cancel, save himself 300 minerals at the same time. It looks like KyoJiN's going to attack, or actually counterattack his counterattack, because now it looks like he's going to turn into a good old base race situation. What do you think?
Yeah, well, if it does, man, I'm gonna have to give it to the Zerg player. In this one, he does have himself a nice battalion of Hydralisks. Got an Ultralisk, got one lone infestor, just decided to be a badass.
Now they're actually pulling back. But like I was saying earlier, if you're gonna research something, make sure you're gonna use it. Don't research it for researching's sake. If you're gonna research Psionic Storm, make sure to keep your High Templar and actually not morph them immediately into Archons just to use them. Use your Psionic Storm. Right now, he finally has a single High Templar, but
very true on that.
Okay,
that's what he's doing. Yeah.
I just saw him destroy his own gateway.
May have been blocked here. Up, getting rid of that cannon as well. Is finally getting that level 2 shields here, so those energy shields are just going to be that much stronger. I would like to see just a few more immortals, and if he would get himself, say, 2-3 more immortals and have them mainly concentrate on taking down those Ultralisks, it could work out really well for him here. And he's got himself 3 Colossus and 2 High Templars with almost enough for 2 storms here, so all the Hydralisk and the Zerglings may not be as much of an issue, especially with those Zealots, if they can actually be a factor in this fight.
I do like the probe leading the charge, though. Let's see if this lives the fight, and no, gets immediately taken down. Nice fungal growth on most of those Zealots. Nice Psionic Storm, taking down quite a big chunk of Zerglings, but now it looks like it's going to be pure Ultralisk going up against Zealots. These Zealots are just hold positioning. Oh, those are just fake Zealots. Poor Zealots. Oh, man. And here, this positioning is KyoJiN's issue. He constantly had his GGs all around. He had his Zealots in the back. You want to have them up front. I mean, we've said this before during this cast, so that was it for this replay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, leave comments down below on what we could do to make these more enjoyable for you. If you have one of your own replays you'd like for us to cast, feel free to upload them to one of the major replay sites, drop.se, GD Tracker, all that good stuff. Any parting words of wisdom for the 2 players?
Zealots really enjoyed those fancy orthopedic shoes that they wear. It makes them quite a bit faster.
There you go.
They're gonna have
so that was it for me. I am out of here.
Have a good one.